Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I want to share with you today a success story on one of my miniature orchids. This is Ornithophora radicans, also known as Gomesa Radicans now. It is a tiny species orchid of Brazil, and mine has been at death's door on many occasions. I purchased it on this piece of brush box fencing. It's a rambling, scrambling orchid, but it hasn't rambled and scrambled for me. I've struggled with it since I've had it. Now, in my Botanica's orchid book here, it said it's a cool to intermediate orchid. You can see there how tiny the flower inflorescence is, and the flowers, they're very, very small. But I have since researched and found that it is a fairly warm growing orchid. So given that it wasn't doing anything for me in a cool environment, I thought let's move this and change things around. You'll see a little bit of moss there on the mount because I've had it in some water. I've also put some sphagnum moss behind the plant as well because it didn't look like it was adhered too well to the mount, and I didn't know whether this may aid the roots. But it certainly has come a long way. I've had some new growth, and I think that it being in the tray of water facing down with water in there constantly is giving a little bit more humidity to the plant as well. Anyway, I was very surprised to see this in bloom. So the little spike there has some buds still to open. The fishing line isn't looking too good. I'm going to have to secure it a bit better, but here's just an old tray that I've had that I popped it in like this and I keep some water in there, and I've got it in a warmer position. So it seems to have worked. I'd love to see this covering the mount. I think it would be a gorgeous specimen if you could get it to that level. So here we are a week later, back in the tray, and you'll notice that more of the flowers have opened for me. Really pleased with the way this is going. It's another week, so the flowers that were open a week ago are still looking strong. And you can get a better look there of the way it is secured to the mount. It's not looking so attractive at the moment, but if I keep growing it in the warmer conditions, I'm hoping that some of this new growth and greenery will start to cover the mount. They're the most delightful little flowers, tiny but delightful. So here we are again another week later, and still I have flowers looking strong and healthy. Really, really enjoying this orchid. The new growth's looking nice and healthy. And just generally the plant's looking much, much better than it was initially. I've had this down to a point where I've had little or no green leaves left on anything, so I'm pretty happy with the way I've turned this around. This mount is not a dense sort of mount, so it does get airflow through the mount, which is why I added the sphagnum moss to it, because it dries out really, really quickly, and I think that was part of my problem when I was trying to grow this orchid. Anyway, the other thing is I'm worried about having it in the water and the condition of the bottom of the mount and it rotting, so I'm just keeping an eye on that, and you'll see it's needing to be secured, I think, a little better than that fishing line. I'm sure we can make something look better than that. But generally it seemed happy where it is at the moment, so I'm not going to play around with this too much. I've got to work towards getting 2 inflorescence next year. That would be nice. Anyway, it's a tiny, tiny orchid. If you're into big showy ones, it's not going to be one for you. It's certainly a pretty orchid to own, and if you have a warm environment, or reasonably warm environment, I think you'd do okay with this one. Thanks for watching. I hope you're proud of me. I haven't killed it, and it looks like this one will live to see another day.